Culture and international marketing. Culture is a very important topic in international marketing. And also it is very complex phenomenon. That's why we want to deal with this topic at first in module number 1. Definition. Culture is the underlying value framework that guides an individual behavior. We can find 2 key words in the definition, right? It is about value framework, something about values, and it guides individual behaviors, right? Culture is reflected in individual perceptions of observed events in personal interactions and in the selection of appropriate responses in social situations. So, culture is pervasive in consumers' behavior in international markets. It's very important to understand that culture manifests itself in learned behavior. So to understand the complexity of consumer behaviors, right, we need to understand the background, culture. In another definition, culture is some sort of complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. As we learn, culture is complex. So I'm going to introduce the concept of over-determination. Culture is not a single layer, but it is determined by multiple layers, which means it is over-determined. So we can consider the different levels of cultural factors. So we can say we have an individual culture, our own, and we are influenced by organizational culture, or we can influenced by the urban culture of Austin or San Marcos, or the culture of Texas, and at the national level, U.S. culture or global culture. There are multiple levels of cultural considerations. And our single behavior is often determined by multiple layers. Not from one single layer, but it can be determined by multiple layers at the same time. So, culture is even more complex considering this phenomenon, right? Right. Don't worry. While culture is complex, there is a way for us to understand culture. In a word, it's lived experience. Human is a well-made machine, right? We can learn by living, and it's the most important thing. So we can find another definition of culture here, right? Culture as a multi-layered construct existing at different levels: global, national, organizational, and group cultures, which encompass the individual, right? So it is explaining the cultural over-determination. So our attention should be given to aggregate social and group processes, not individual processes. Also, interaction of these aggregate levels and the factors which facilitate cultural change. So theoretically, it is quite difficult and hard to assess the cultural phenomenon. but the complexity is solved in our well-made machine. So within ourselves, things can be simply understood by our experience. The experience is the whole thing, whole recognition about the things around. From the book or from the theories or this course, you can learn only partial things about the culture. But when you go there and actually experience the things, right? The complexity can be understood simply. It's the power of lived experience. So for practice, it's very important to have lived experience. So that's why a lot of different companies are using local people for their local marketing. We have two case studies in this piece of lecture, and one is spam in South Korea, another is Japanese market. And here in the case studies, you need to understand something more than a fact. Okay, you need to understand the details behind the fact, maybe the cultural dynamics. And particularly in the case of spam in South Korea, you need to understand the historical background and a cultural legacy related to the product. Maybe you can watch a few video clips posted on Canvas, right? Let me give you this picture first. Spam is a prime gift for the holidays in South Korea. Just like this, they're displayed with lavish gift boxes, sometimes with ribbon. It's quite good gift for Korean people. It's quite interesting, right? While spam is a junk food in the United States and other Western countries, there is a reason for Korean people to perceive it as a kind of semi-luxury item. And watch the video clips and we can have a discussion about this. The second case study is about Japanese market. Again, the same thing, right? For these kinds of case studies where you need to see something more than a fact, and you need to understand the cultural dynamics behind the fact. Japanese people have urge for premium product, and for the reason why they have the urge for premium products, we need to find some details. Also, you can watch some video clips posted on the Canvas, right? But I can give you a few examples. There's a milk product in Japan and sold at $43 a quart because it's a luxury. There is a cube watermelon in Japan and sold at between $200 and $800. I don't think the taste is quite different. And it's a special luxury grape, ruby Roman grape, specially grown, carefully managed to meet the standards for the premium grape. It is often sold at $4,000. There are several different things in the culture, but the one reason for their crave for premium items in foods is due to one kind of tradition concept in Japan called June, right? So Japanese people think that every food item has its own time and its own time for people to consume it. So a lot of produces from the nature, right? There is a special season when its taste is the best. So for those June kinds, right, prices are very, very expensive compared to the common produces, common products in other seasons, in other times. Well, the things are more complicated, and it's it may be best understood by your lived experience. Grab your chance to visit foreign country and experience the things. However, we can partially understand some of the aspects in those foreign cultures. So please watch the video clips, and then we will have a discussion about each topic. Thank you very much.